This is my second video all about BurlyCon, a phenomenal, extravagant, casual, fun time / burlesque convention in Seattle, Washington. If you want to learn a little bit more about BurlyCon and what to expect, you can find a little bit more in my video right here talking about that. Realistically, BurlyCon is expensive. It costs money. You have to travel, you have to buy tickets, you have to maybe attend shows that other producers are putting on at the same time. There's no audience quite like an audience full of purely burlesque performers. Today we're talking all about how to save money in BurlyCon. Let's go. First of all, this is something I talk about for BurlyCon, Burlesque Hall of Fame, burlesque festivals. Anytime you want to travel, plan early and plan as early as possible. After that 1 year of BurlyCon, I am instantly, as soon as I get back, as soon as I'm unwound and comfortable back at home and in my routine, I plan immediately for the next year. When you're at BurlyCon, usually on the last day or the second to last day, they will actually have tickets available at the cheapest rate you will ever find them for the following year. If you're an attendee 1 year and you know you want to attend the following year, get in that line really early to make sure that you don't miss your chance. You can get those $100 tickets or whatever the price is at this current time. Those tickets are often limited. There's usually only so many of those ones, and it's usually a very small amount. And then after BurlyCon happens, if you follow them on social media, you start to see little hints of when tickets are going to go on sale, and to keep your eyes open and to get yourselves ready to buy tickets, because they have multiple tiers for their tickets. So usually they'll have Earlybird tickets, which are the first ones to go to the public, and those are the cheapest ones. Then after, they might have only 100 tickets of those ones, and then once those tickets are sold out, or if they have a deadline, say like January 31st, for example, then they'll go to the second tier, which might be, instead of $125, it might be $175 or $200, all the way up until they make the very final price. There is a huge difference between the final ticket price and any of those early bird tickets. Get on top of those tickets. The same thing goes with the hotel. So for the last couple of years, and even this year coming up, they are hosting BurlyCon once again at the Hilton in Seattle, Washington, which is fantastic because it is just across from the airport. So if you're flying into Seattle, you literally just have to take this little walking bridge and the hotel is right there. The convention center is all blocked off for Burly classes. If you're following BurlyCon and you're subscribed to their newsletter as well, make sure to keep an eye out, because they usually around the spring will launch the ticket sales for the hotel. When you go onto their website, as soon as you see that announcement and you say that tickets are live, go get your hotel tickets. Those are discounted tickets, so it's actually going to be cheaper to get your hotel room in the Burly block or the BurlyCon block than it would be if you were to get a regular hotel room. So depending on what you want to have, make sure you're getting yourself those good hotel tickets, those good BurlyCon tickets nice and early before they're sold out. And as well, while you're planning ahead, make sure to make a budget. When I budget, I look at what are ticket prices, what is travel probably going to cost, maybe a hotel room, how much money am I okay or able to spend at BurlyCon. It is so easy to get sucked into BurlyCon the moment you get in, especially when you go to see that merchandise hall with lots of sparkle and rhinestones and costume pieces and pasties. You get sucked in, and it's very easy to want to buy everything. Not always the smartest way to travel is to just go for it. I might give myself a budget of about $100 for merchandise, and then I can just kind of look, see what's really cool to me, things that I really want to see. There's always a Legend of Honor at BurlyCon who is a phenomenal wealth of knowledge, and our burlesque legends love to connect and chat. So if you ever get to talk to a burlesque legend at BurlyCon, do it. Take their workshops, take their classes, take their panels when they talk about their life story. Often we've even had burlesque legends who have books and their own merchandise that they'll sell. That's usually what is at the top of my list for merchandise, is anything if a burlesque legend is selling it. It's kind of convenient when you've been to BurlyCon a certain amount of times, because they do tend to have the same things over and over again. So certain things I might already have, or I expect it will be there next year if I don't need it right now. And while I'm budgeting, I also make sure to really look at any shows that might be going on. Even if you don't know who the producers are, just assume that there's probably going to be a show at BurlyCon. So to save $50 or maybe $60 shows just so you can get some food or snacks maybe, or travel again, and those tickets for those shows as well. If you can't afford tickets, there's a few ways that BurlyCon makes it a little bit more accessible for individuals. They often have things like sponsorships that you can apply to, and again, they'll announce sponsorship opportunities on their social media and in their newsletter as well. Usually with sponsorships, they only have a couple of seats that they can fill, so just know that there is that opportunity for you to at least apply. And as well, they sometimes have discounted tickets for things like troops. So if a group of you who are in a troop decide to go together one year, they usually have tickets where you can get a bundle or a troop ticket that's a little bit cheaper per person. And on the topic of people and maybe troops, maybe people you don't know, go with friends, go with strangers. Just go with somebody. I've done BurlyCon quite a few different ways myself. I have gone by myself. There's other years where I've gone with either troop members from my own troop or friends of mine from my local community. And there was also one year when I just kind of did a free-for-all and just went into a room that none of us knew each other. Most people will go up to 4 people at a room, which is much, much more cost-effective. And in order to get to BurlyCon, what are your priorities? Do you want to be comfortable going to BurlyCon? Do you want to get there fast? Do you want to get there efficiently? Do you want to afford it? Depending on where you're traveling from and how you're getting to BurlyCon can be very, very different. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, it might be cheaper for you to drive yourself to BurlyCon. Maybe if you carpool with friends, if you can, then you can share gas and expenses that way as well. And when you're buying your tickets, some things to keep in mind as well that individuals don't always think about. BurlyCon is a very casual, community-based event, so you do not have to attend the entire weekend. A lot of people will leave on the Saturday or the Sunday, or they'll arrive late and maybe arrive on the Friday instead of the Thursday that it starts. As well, when you're at BurlyCon, you can apply to teach. 2022, the year that's coming up, they've already had their teaching applications come out and now be finished. But for 2023 and moving forward, that's something that's really important to keep in mind is watch when they are opening applications for teaching. BurlyCon is so much about offering education between performers and mentorship opportunities and networking opportunities. So you really get to learn from a widely diverse amount of performers and teachers who have 20 years experience, who are headliners, but also who might have been in burlesque for 5 years, or maybe are still a little bit newer to the scene, but are really good at costuming. Most years they have an honorarium, so that is something to help you a little bit, and it could be enough to help you with meals. As well as teaching, they often have volunteer opportunities. If you volunteer a specific number of hours, they might have a slight discount for tickets. Volunteering is super great because it not only helps BurlyCon, but it might also help you in the long run with finances. And again, planning ahead, money is expensive depending on where you're coming from. If you're from the United States, then you do you. However, I am not. I'm from Canada, and the exchange rate sucks. I try to bring as much cash as I can to BurlyCon and not rely so much on my credit cards or my debit card. If I find a moment where the exchange rate is really good and the Canadian dollar and American dollar is a little bit closer, still not as close as I like, but a little bit closer, then I might take out a bunch of cash at that time, even if it's in June. That way I'll have the cash already and it's already in my hand somewhere. Speaking about cash and credit cards, if you're able to get a credit card that has air miles or points, take advantage. That has saved me so many times with traveling both to BurlyCon and festivals, flying on my points. And then when you're going to BurlyCon as well, some of the things right before BurlyCon, don't be afraid to pack casual. BurlyCon is incredibly casual. Many show ponies will do floor work and dance classes or costume classes in their pajamas, and it is fantastic. When you're thinking about BurlyCon and what you want to pack, make sure you're packing comfortable, easy clothes that you can wear, and you don't have to wear the glamorous dress. You don't have to spend a lot of money before BurlyCon to make yourself look fabulous. If you have something that's a little bit nice to wear, that you really want to wear for one of the mingling cocktail parties, but don't blow your budget on it. And as well as packing, what can you pre-pack? I like to bring granola bars, I like to bring food, I like to bring snacks. There is a Trader Joe's really close to the convention center, which is a grocery store. A lot of performers will plan a trip to Trader Joe's and make sure to buy groceries and food that you can feed yourself with. If you're somebody who likes to cook your own food or likes to eat a little bit healthier or save money and not eat at all restaurants or eat out all the time, that's one really great way to be able to do that, I make sure to pack lots of snacks. You're gonna be going all day, every day, so make sure you have things like granola bars or fruit or vegetables, electrolyte drink for you to keep your energy up between classes and throughout the day. For me, the special occasion is usually when I go to a show around that weekend. Then I'll buy myself dinner, but for the rest of the weekend I might be taking care of myself and feeding myself as much as I can without having to go to a restaurant. And last but not least, BurlyCon is becoming more affordable than ever. Because of this pandemic, BurlyCon has began offering the workshops and BurlyCon virtually online. Now that we have BurlyCon online, you have performers and teachers from again across the globe who might not afford to go to BurlyCon. They can now offer their classes online virtually, and you can register to sign up for their classes, and they have done this already. They are continuing to do it even this year in November when they're having the live BurlyCon once again. They are running both together. If you're not able to travel to BurlyCon and you just can't afford it this year, you can still attend the virtual BurlyCon if you want. Make sure you keep your peepers peeled for when they're talking about the virtual BurlyCon and when you can buy tickets. That is it. There is many more ways you can save money, but those are some of the main things that I keep in mind for myself. I really hope you found some insight and it helped you a little bit planning. I tried to get this video out nice and early so then it gives you plenty of time to plan and budget, and again, subscribe to the newsletter. Follow them on social media. I will have all of BurlyCon's social media information as well as their website and a few details as well in the description down below. Otherwise, if you have thoughts, questions, comments, insights, and advice, leave them down in the comments, and I am really excited to see what you have to share. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye!